there is some planning required, but if you're going to be living here, there's no point in not filing for citizenship unless your case has certain issues where filing for citizenship just creates more problems. So it's a rare thing.
That's what I want to say. That's what I want to say, that sometimes filing for citizenship can hurt you.
Yeah.
And again, only immigration attorney can tell you if this is the case.
And that's what it constantly, because people contact us, they say, well, I have a clean case. Let's just talk for 10 minutes. So like, no, we have to go from the beginning of when you're born up till now and go step by step. And somebody takes an hour to go through this to try to pinpoint any part where there'd be a problem, because this is the last step in the process. So if this is the last time they're going to look at you, so they're going to look at you really hard, because once you got citizenship, they do have a denaturalization task force started, but it's very rare for them to come after you. So this is the last chance they have to check you out. And so you really want to talk with a lawyer to try to go through all the history, all your paperwork, maybe FOIA, do a Freedom of Information Act request for your previous files, because there's a bunch of errors people do. I have errors where we were, like, for example, when they got their green card, they didn't list foreign military service, and that could be a problem now. Or when they got their green card, they didn't list like a spouse or something like that, or former criminal history. And now when they go for citizenship, they're going to highlight that, and it could cause them to be sent to immigration court for deportation.
Right. Another thing that we see is that, for example, when couple lives in the United States, right?
Yeah.
But they get married in a third country, for example, and they think that, for example, they want a divorce, and they go back to the third country and get divorced there. But depends on the your state's law. Some states do not recognize these marriages. If you live, for example, I don't know, I'm not barred in New York, I don't want to say, but if you live in state A and the law of state A says that, okay, for us to recognize the divorce, you have to be divorced here, not somewhere else. And these divorces from third countries, they're not valid. And for example, people get divorced, then they get remarried, they're trying to get paperwork with their second spouse, right? But their first marriage is still there, right? And therefore their second marriage is not valid. Right. Yeah. And it can create such a mess up to naturalization, even at the green card stage, USCIS will not always catch this mistake.
Yeah.
But it can catch it at the naturalization and revoke everything, all the green card, and put you in proceedings for that.
People think they do a thorough job, not always. People think, well, if they made a mistake, it's them, and so you're still clean because they made a mistake. No, they could go back and undo it. It's no problem for them. So it's not like they made a mistake and it's okay. This could come and haunt you. California is an example of this. When I first started, I had a mentor who had this issue. She filled me in. Like in California, if you're both residing here, spouses, and this couple that she had wanted to do a quickie divorce. So they went to another country, got a divorce, and came back. And then they got remarried. The new marriage weren't valid because in California, if you're both living here, they want the California courts to get the divorce to make sure there's a fair distribution of assets. One partner's not taking advantage of the other partner. And so when they went to adjustment of status for the new marriage, that was denied. Because their marriage was not a real marriage at that point because it was invalid. So it's a minefield, and it's really hard to even know that because immigration lawyers are immigration lawyers. We don't do family law. There's 50 states and there's 50 different rules. But once that's where experience comes. And once you see it once, then you question it. So every time we have clients, we ask, how many times have you been married? Let me see the divorce certificates, see what states they are, what are the dates? Does it make sense? Do these kind of issues pop up? And this is the analysis that happens. And again, when people contact us and say, well, how much is the price for something? We're like, I don't know. I have to see all your paperwork because as we talk about many times in our shows about birth certificate errors happening, we had another case right now had a birth certificate error. I think it's like pretty much more than half the cases have birth certificate errors.
Every other case, basically.
Yeah, late registration, wrong this, wrong that on the birth certificate. It's just like, what's going on? Because people don't look at the birth certificate. They have no need to until they come to us. And so unless we see that, it's very hard, and we don't want to get surprised and start the case and then realize an error is probably, we want to see this stuff at the beginning. So it's just
and you will not even know it during the consultation, like initial consultation. Yeah. Once you get all the paperwork, you go through it and you see these things pop up, right?
Yeah, because it requires you got to read everything. You got to look at everything. Sometimes they did not translate it yet, so we had to wait for the translations. And clients are in a rush. Let's file the case. Let's file the case. How soon can we file the case? I'm like, listen, I got to read this stuff. And sometimes you don't catch it the first time around. You read it once, you do the case, and you read it again. Like, oh wait, there's this one fine print here that's wrong. It just we got to be thorough. And if we're not, the case is going to go downhill. Sometimes it happens where you just can't do the case because the error is just too big and it's not fixable, and people's lives are destroyed because 20 years ago there was a document error that was never fixed.